I almost missed my cue because I was messing with my phone, Ed. All right. It is Tuesday. It is 7 o'clock. It is time for the Life Radio Show, brought to you from the newly dubbed, the newly renamed Wiley's Comedy Studios at WWSU.
What?
Yeah, that was just thrown up to me, or not thrown up to me, thrown out to me, thrown over to me. It was told to me. Somebody said something.
That's big.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Don.
Look at that.
Making moves.
Yeah.
Making moves.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm somebody.
Yeah. Is it like with Don Smith or just
Wiley's Comedy Studios?
You got to be more selfish. You got to press them harder.
That's true. Get
your name in there.
Next time, it needs to be Wiley's Comedy, the Life Radio Don Smith Studios. That's what we need. That's the full title, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, it should be the like
Smith,
the Ohio,
the Don Smith Life Comedy.
No,
Wiley's
it needs to be like 3
show.
D's in it. Like it needs to start with one. Yeah,
just start every one. Yeah. Okay, this is getting needlessly drawn out.
Let me hear it.
You want the whole thing?
I mean, not those terms.
Welcome to the Life Radio Show with your host, the Don Smith from the Wiley's Comedy Studios at WWSU.
How'd that make you feel?
Confused. Probably like many people, slightly confused, Ed.
Well, I'm happy for you, and I believe in you.
I appreciate that. Ed John is my
what up
guest co-host and only guest right now.
You didn't have to say the only guest. You didn't have to do that.
Well, they would have figured it out. Either that or we had a mime in with us.
Let's start this over.
Okay.
Welcome
to the Life Radio Show. We're going to just keep doing the intro all night long.
We're going to get it right.
Till we get it right. So what's up with you, Ed?
Me? What's up with me?
Yeah, what have you been up to?
Are
you excited about this coming weekend?
This coming weekend, what's going on this weekend?
As far as I know, the Wiley's Comedy Fireworks Competition.
Oh yeah, it is coming up.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to losing to me? Is that?
I'm just looking forward. I'm looking forward to being on stage, and just having fun.
That's the idea.
Just having fun. So
because that's the point where I am. It's just This is gonna be another show. I'm gonna have fun with it. I'm not gonna.
Yep.
Not going to worry about all the pressure that you feel.
But it's... I hate you, Don. But it's supposed to be like, what, 40? Like 40 comics?
I think there's a little over 40.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I think there's 42, something like that. I'm not sure the actual number.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I participated in the contest last year. So...
Yeah, I haven't been
cool.
one... the first one I was in was the last one I was in. That was in 2015, I think.
Okay.
2014, one of them.
And how'd that go for you?
Went well. It was actually, the preliminary was my fourth time on stage.
Okay.
And I did make it to the finals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, because you could win the contest and that would be cool, but I consider every time I get on stage, if I don't totally bomb, then I won. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have your own standards for winning.
Yeah, I have my own standards. So thank you, Don.
Yeah,
thank you, Don.
Well, you might not get the $1,000, but you'll get something much more valuable.
Is it 1,000?
Yeah, you didn't. Well, it's 500 because you're splitting it with the owner of the club.
Okay.
So,
okay. All right.
If you win,
who's this owner we're talking about?
That would be me. That would be the Don
Smith.
The
Don Smith. Okay. Yeah.
and
it should be fun though.
Yeah, it should be a good time. It usually is.
And you're going up Friday.
In the area. I'm going up Friday night, 9:30. It's the 9:30 show, the second show, because there are 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday.
You want to go up?
The finals are on Sunday.
Because we have the same day then. We're on the same show.
Yes, we are.
In the same round, so you definitely want to go before me. You want to go at
I don't want to overshadow you.
Probably
though.
at 7
That's
o'clock.
The problem. That's the problem. I don't want to overshadow you.
Okay. No, it would be good. I saw you when you had your the live show a couple weeks ago, and you were hilarious, man. I didn't know you were that good on stage.
I have my moments.
Yeah, you were good. I'm not digging you. I'm just saying. Okay. Yeah.
You know, I'm not just a windbag on the radio.
You're a guy of
I
many
can
hats.
get on stage, yeah.
But you put a lot into what you do, though. I mean, you put a lot into the show, into the club. You know, you go above and beyond. So
I try.
Yeah.
I try. I mean, well, you have to. If you go into everything half-hearted, you're not going to really get much out of it.
True.
You know.
But
you understand that. I mean,
I do.
You are a comedy student, as I always refer to you as. Not that
Thank
you're
you.
my student, but you are a
grasshopper.
You study.
Yeah, I do study.
You study the comic ways. You know.
I do the way of the ha-ha.
The way of the comic.
The way of the LOL.
You know,
Yeah,
grass ha ha ha.
No.
Yeah, that was
No.
not a good.
No.
You don't need to study that one. That one.
No, that's like a Chinese person with a stutter. If you had like a sensei who was like, young guys, haha. No, okay, never mind.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. So how's it going, man? You doing having a good week, man?
I'm having a pretty good week.
Okay.
I'm having a pretty good week. Just a busy weekend.
Busy.
Very busy weekend.
Yep. At the club.
Donnie Baker and the Pork Pistols rocked the house. They the 3 crazy sold out show. The Pork Pistols.
That's got to be an innuendo. That's got to be an innuendo of some sort.
Oh, I would.
I heard that and I was like,
yes,
yeah, okay. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But my mind was like, okay.
I'm sure it is.
Okay. Pork Pistols.
Because it's Donnie Baker. It has to be.
Yep. Makes sense.
Has to be something a little crazy.
Did I say thank you for having me on your show?
No, you haven't.
Thank you, Don.
But you do every time, so I'm not that worried.
Okay.
You thank me for such things. I'm not used to that. That
thank you,
confuses
Don.
me.
I would bow right now, but the way it's set up in here, I can't bow. So, but thank
you'd
you.
hit your head on the microphone.
I would.
Yeah, and then it would mess up the sound. I'm not worried about your head.
Okay.
I think it could take. I think it could take it.
Thank you, Don. Thank you.
That's because I believe in you.
Thank you, Don.
And I
believe
in the firmness of your skull.
Oh, yeah. So I'm excited about this weekend, though. And you know what I really want to see this weekend is the development of like a lot of the local comics.
Yeah.
You know, who I've been watching for like a year and a half now, just to see like what they do. Because, you know, you get on stage.
That's a neat thing about doing. I don't get to watch as many of the Sunday comics as I used to, but that was always a fun thing.
Mm-hmm. Commit, Don. Commit.
I'm trying it. You would see the comics go up again and again, the same ones, and you'd see how they work on their material and what they changed.
Yep.
And it was always fascinating, and watching some of them grow.
Yep.
As comics, because I remember, Nick Taylor is one that's when he first started, he was okay, he was funny, and then I hadn't been to a Sunday Comics for a while, and then I saw him up like 6 months in between, and he just amazed me. He was on fire that night.
Yep, yep. He did very well too at this past weekend too when he was hosting.
Yeah, because he hosted, and he also, I think he did a guest set on one of the Saturday shows. Hosted another one. And then,
Yep.
It was a very good weekend. I also got to Friday night. I got to be part of the Nicolas Cage Movie Review Hour podcast.
Okay, yep. How'd it go?
It was a lot of fun. It was actually watched a movie that was pretty good. I don't want to spoil it and give you the movie
because there are not a lot
of
good Nicolas Cage movies.
There are some.
It's like 5.
There are. Yeah. This was actually. It wasn't like, oh my God, this is the best Nicolas, but it was like that was actually a good movie. That was actually a reasonable.
Which movie?
Good movie.
Which one was it?
Well, I don't want to go too much into it since you're gonna have to
check out the podcast.
Check out the podcast.
Okay.
Whenever that one's out in probably a couple weeks. I don't know.
I've got one I was supposed to be. Kyle was talking to me about doing one too. I don't know which movie we're gonna watch.
Have you done one yet?
No, I have never done one.
They're a lot of fun.
Okay.
I mean, even if you get a really, because this is the second one I've done.
I'm getting a bad movie. Odds are high.
Oh yeah, it's pretty. There's a very good chance you're going to get a terrible movie because it's Nick Cage.
Has anybody ever walked out of one of these things?
Oh, one of the movie review hour.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt it.
Here we go.
Because to me that was part of. I watched a very.
I'm a trailblazer, Don. I'm a trailblazer.
You could be. You could be the first one to get up and storm out.
I'm a trailblazer, Don. It's about.
I'm not doing it anymore.
I'm not watching this trash. You can't make me. I'm out.
The first one I watched several months ago, or can't even remember. It's been a while. It's been a while since I did the first one because I think he's like at episode 60 something now. So
Nick Cage has over 60 movies?
Oh, he has way more than that. Yeah, he's got a lot of movies.
Wow, okay.
But it's been like 15 years since he's had one like in a theater.
Okay.
They're all like straight to DVD. Actually, some of them, even new ones, are straight to VHS. They don't even bother with DVD. They're like, it's just, this
we got an app where you can watch
80s.
This movie.
This belongs in the 80s when you were popular. We'll put it on VHS and see what happens.
Nick Cage has over 60 movies.
He's got a lot of movies out there. And some of them are terrible. The first one I watched on there was called Bangkok Dangerous.
Okay.
The first time I did the Nick Cage movie review hour. And, oh, man, it was brutal. It was,
of course.
But it's fun. It's funny.
Nick Cage in Bangkok.
Yes. It was just really bad haircut and one of the worst assassins you could ever imagine.
Nick Cage should never leave the United States.
Or he should.
Let alone
he should
film
just
on
not
another.
come back.
Yeah. Like, he got to go through customs. Nick Cage got to go through customs.
The thing is, there's so much to appreciate even from a bad Nick Cage movie.
Like
from
what?
That
Give me
the humor that it brings. Because when you're sitting there watching it, you usually watch it with Kyle and his wife and usually
cocaine,
a couple of friends around there. Cocaine. Yeah, of course.
Yep.
You can't watch Nick Cage. That's like it. As soon as you walk in the door, he just hands you a Coke straw and a mirror. He's like, here you go. Let's start a movie.
Nick Cage in Bangkok.
But no, even the bad ones, they're so much fun because for one thing, you're sitting there and just making fun of it as it's playing.
Okay, I can see that.
And then once that's over, you go downstairs and you discuss it. And the hard part is trying to keep track of all the things you want to bring up about it. But chances are, if you notice something really stupid or really bad, somebody else did too, and they're going to bring it up. Okay. So it's a relaxed thing. You don't have to sit there and take notes or anything. So, well, there you go.
Cal, thanks for the invite. I'll be there, buddy. To support.
They are a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to a lot of fun to listen to as well.
Okay.
As they had one where
I just can't see Nick Cage leaving the country to you got to talk to that country you're going to, right? I imagine you got to get in touch with the film department.
You have to get all kinds of permits and everything. Yeah.
And there's some official documentation saying Nick Cage is going to be here.
I'm sure they're fine with that because it's Nick Cage. It's still a name. It's not like here comes Bert Flukenhauser, nobody knows him.
If I was in Bangkok and I found out, and I was a citizen of Bangkok, and I found out my elected officials allowed Nick Cage.
How dare you let him into this country?
My tax money on Nick. D movie got no. We got to be better like stewards of money.
Yeah. We should. Well,
what do they have in Bangkok? Yen? What's in Bangkok?
I don't
What's
even
in Bangkok?
Know. Was that the bot or something like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know.
I have no idea what their currency is.
That's wasted. Like, you got a catering service allocated for Nick Cage.
I'm sure they bring money into the country too, because they're going to be using services there. You don't. So yeah, they have to bring some money into the country. Otherwise, why would they?
But somebody's manifest has to declare Nick Cage, like, hey, I'm bringing Nick Cage into your country.
Well, it's not. It's like on a customs form. You have to declare Nick Cage.
Some pilot's got to be like, yeah, I got Nick Cage on this plane.
Are you bringing any fruit into the country? Turn him around. You bringing any animals into the country?
Turn him around.
Is Nick Cage with you?
Turn him around. Turn him around. Not today, Satan. Turn him around. If I see a Japanese man say, if I see a Chinaman say, not today, Satan, I'm done.
So you wouldn't let Nick Cage make a movie?
I wouldn't let him in my airspace. Turn him around.
That's crazy. Because he has some good movies.
Turn him around.
You're just done with.
You got to be batting at least like 75% to come into my country. At least 75%. At least.
Okay. That's. I guess that's fair. But what if he comes into your country and that's one of the great Nick Cage movies of all time that is made in your country?
If Nick Cage come to Fairborn,
missed that opportunity.
If Nick Cage come to Fairborn, I'm gone. I'm moving to like West Dayton.
If he comes to Fairborn, he'll probably fit right in. There's a lot of crazy people.
You're right. But Nick Cage has that look.
Fairborn?
Yeah, why you got that look on your face?
Man? How'd that happen?
Why you got that look on your face?
What?
When I say I live in Fairborn.
Was it an experiment or what?
Wait.
Not disgusted by you. It's Fairborn.
The look you had on your face when I let you know where I pay my taxes.
But really,
we can't curse on this show. I'm taking everything I got not to just say you, Don. My bad. Yeah. I live in Fairborn.
Okay.
I feel like I'm on a 12-step meeting now.
Nothing wrong with that.
I feel like Scotty Mays. Hi, my name is Ed.
You
and I live
just
in
own
Fairborn.
up to it and, apologize.
Yeah. I live in Fairborn.
Okay. Well, I guess there are some parts of Fairborn that are all right.
Don't do it, Don. Don't do it. Stop.
I haven't seen it.
Stop. The look on your face. Just get off my show. Get off my show.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nick Cage. Okay, yeah, Nick Cage.
Yeah. So you wouldn't even want him in Fairborn making a movie?
I wouldn't. No.
I would let Nick Cage make a movie in Wiley's.
See, it would,
because why not? There are still people that, despite how many bad Nick Cage movies there are, that still love Nick Cage.
Nick Cage might do well in a comedy club, though. He might do well in comedy. I could see him playing a comedian, a comic. I could see that.
Yeah, because comics are usually damaged and a little strange. Yeah. He is definitely plays damaged.
Well, I won't even
very well.
He probably has his downs, but I won't call him damaged because I don't know him as a guy. I just know him as Nick Cage.
He probably has downs.
He has his downs. He probably does have his downs, but yeah.
So you were going a different direction. Not he has downs, but he has his ups and downs.
His ups and downs.
Mostly downs.
Mostly downs.
Nick Cage.
He's Nick Cage. Yeah.
Well, even his popular movies I didn't care for.
What popular movie?
Con Air.
Okay, Con Air.
That was a very popular. Face Off.
I remember Face Off.
Both horrible.
Yeah.
But very popular. Yep. Some people love them. I think they're just bad.
Just bad
around
movies.
Bad. Well, Con Air, even the good actors that were in Con Air were terrible in that movie. Yeah.
Travolta was in Face Off and it was horrible.
I was talking about good actors.
He's a good actor, though. Saturday Night Fever? Come on, man. Watch the hair. You always hit my hair. Watch the hair. Come on. You don't like Saturday Night Fever?
I do not.
Dude could dance like...
Well, that's not acting, though. That's dancing.
Well, yeah, true. But it was disco. It was disco, man. That was your era. Disco.
That
was, like the left side of your beard was living in the disco era.
That's probably true because I was like 3.
Okay. Well, your parents, bell bottoms, they didn't appreciate the Travolta of the 70s?
Oh, in the 70s? No, they weren't. Well, I think Dad listened to some disco, but not really. He was more of a country guy.
Okay.
I think when he was good and drunk, he listened to some disco. Okay, he liked Donna Summer, but not so much because of the music. But he'd listen to her so that he could look at her.
Okay. Okay.
But no, they weren't really. My mom was a 50s music kind of. She was a big Elvis.
What about
fan.
Grease?
My dad's hair was pretty greasy. That's
I'm talking about the movie. You don't look.
Well, with Grease,
I've seen Grease.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
and it's a musical.
Yep.
So
Didn't
I've seen it. I don't do musicals.
Okay.
But no, I wasn't wild. Now I will say that when Travolta first started to make his comeback. Mm-hmm. Because he kind of disappeared for a while after Welcome Back Kotter and Saturday Night Fever and all that. He kind of went away.
The accident with his son, the kid.
Right.
Yep.
And then when he made his comeback with Pulp Fiction, he was
Pulp Fiction,
he was good,
one of the best movies
ever.
Absolutely.
Great movie.
Yes.
Yeah. I can't knock that. But and
what's your favorite
Travolta
Pulp Fiction?
What's that?
Quote.
I can't say I'm on the That is a tasty burger.
That big kahuna.
Oh, that's funny.
Do you mind if I have some of your beverage to wash this down?
But no, that was a fine movie, and Travolta did a great job in there. And, You're still sucking on my beverage. So. But there were some that there were some that Travolta did that were a little over the top, and I think the over the top acting is. I think that throws me off more than just underacting.
Okay.
The overacting just.
So where do you place Nick Cage, over or under?
It depends on the movie because I've seen him do both. I've seen him do both as the same character in the same scene. Nick Cage is the schizophrenic actor of the year. He's like he is fantastic. He's an anomaly.
Okay. Okay.
But every now and then you see a movie where he does a good job.
I was surprised to learn that he won. I think we talked about this a couple of days ago. I was surprised to learn he won an Oscar.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, I mean, what's his name won an Oscar too? Christian Bale won an Oscar too.
Oh, well, okay.
Sorry, I had to throw that out there.
Yeah, you did.
Just in case Mike Wells was listening, because he.
What up,
Mike? It's just fun now. All right. Well, I think we're going to hit the comedy rundown. I'm going to play a tune. Let me get a tune queued up here. What are you in the mood for, Ed?
Don't stop. Let's do some. Let's do some. You got any J. Cole?
Absolutely, I do. We'll do some Potter's.
On the feature. Let's go.
Exactly.
Let's do it.
All right, so I'm going to hit the comedy rundown. We'll play some music, and we'll be back here shortly. But first, if I get to the right page,
comedy rundown.
Comedy run. You need to sing me a tune for the comedy rundown. You need to. I mean, not like right now. You need to record like a segue into the.
I can do it now.
Rundown.
Let's go.
All right, go for it.
Let's go. I need a beat, man. Give me a beat. I need a beat.
I'm white. I got no beat. All right.
Comedy rundown with a white guy.
Perfect. I'm saving that. We're going to do that every time.
Nothing brings people together quite like the movies, and every week Aaron Lopez wants you to join him in a discussion about the latest and greatest in the world of film. So grab a drink, grab some popcorn, and get comfy. Come join Aaron and friends every Thursday at The Drive-In, presented by Eventide Entertainment.
Hey man, this is Donnie Baker at Wiley's Comedy Club, and you're listening to WWSU 106.9. I swear to God.
All right, we are back on the Life Radio Show, broadcasting from WWSU's Wiley's Comedy Studios. I'm your host, Don Smith, sitting in with my guest co-host for the week, Ed John.
What up?
And Luke Feerer.
Correct.
Hey, I didn't want to say Feerer. That sounded wrong, but...
And I was leaving. And I was leaving.
And
I was getting the hell out.
A little mind campy.
From Hannah's.
Yep, Hannah's at 121 North Ludlow Street in downtown Dayton. We're located directly across from the Schuster Center and right next door to the Arts Garage.
Right, that's it. That's in the Talbot Tower.
In Talbot Tower, yep.
Well, not
correct.
That's the base of the Talbot
Tower.
Yep.
If anybody remembers, in 2013, Jay Allen's closed. That was
sounds familiar.
It was a bar that operated for about 8 years, but I'm in that space there, and we serve lunch every day from 11 to close, and we open on Saturdays at 5 o'clock, and we're closed Sundays.
Yeah. I've had lunch there a couple times with the wife. So.
You had the beef sandwich?
I think I've had the beef sandwich once. Last time I was there, I had a chicken the chicken salad. So yeah.
I get the chicken quesadilla.
You get and Ed gets the chicken.
I get the chicken quesadilla
almost daily.
Yep. Not daily. A lot. Don't make me sound like a fat ass.
Pretty regular.
Don't. Yeah, I get the chicken quesadilla.
Yep. Every day I get the.
Every day I get the chicken quesadilla rundown.
Is the?
Did you say Ed Clump?
The Egg Club.
Wasn't there a clump named Ed?
Was there?
I think there was.
Really, I can't remember.
I think there was.
It's possible.
Did we mention the open mic at Hannah's? I know it was on the rundown.
It was on the rundown.
It was, yeah. That's where we go and like practice for like the club and stuff at Wiley's.
The workout.
Yep, the workout. There you go. Yep.
Yeah. Is that show going good? You get a lot of good
Going well.
Get a lot of comics in there.
Yeah,
Going
it's
well.
No,
it's,
going good.
It's
Okay.
going well. It's going well. We've got a really heavy comic presence there.
But that's just it.
Going, Don. Going, Don.
It really it's a comedy workout. If there isn't a better explanation I could put to that. However, we are kind of graduating next week. We're moving from the open mic to it's going to be a scheduled
It's
actual
going to be a
show,
book show.
because next week begins. We're changing the schedule a little bit, the timing of it. 2 Laugh Minimum Monday has began at 7:30 to 9 on Mondays up until next week, and then we're going to be having beginner salsa classes from 7 to 8 p.m. And we're going to launch the comedy. It's called 2 Laugh Minimum Monday. Directly following that, with the idea that we can capture some of that audience from the class and really put on a good show every week.
Yeah, keep the salsa dancers going.
Yep.
Are you going to do any salsa dancing?
I am going to salsa.
Okay.
I'm going to salsa.
He's got to
That's
work off them
fantastic.
quesadillas.
You know what? This is not going to become. We're not discussing my eating habits. All right? We're really not. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Let's, what's the next topic? Let's go.
I don't know. What's the next topic?
I am
Ed?
looking forward to salsa dancing, though. I used to take lessons back in 2012.
That should be
I took
good
lessons
fun.
for about 3 weeks. I'm good with my feet.
That's good. That's good. I'll have to get there and see
Suavemente,
you. That
huh?
way I'm gonna have to get there and see you.
No, you got to get there and join in the class.
Yeah, I'm not, the only kind of salsa I do is with chips.
I'll have full video of Ed for you.
Are you going to be videoing?
I don't know
it,
if I
Grill?
can take full video.
Air
of
it.
that.
Are you going to be? Are you going to
Okay,
be
panoramic.
videoing? Are you going to videotape it for real?
Oh no. It's
Okay.
easy, yeah.
I mean, you can. I don't care.
I mean, I'm sure
I was
get
made
some
for the camera.
Stock footage.
I was made
Well,
for
yeah,
the camera.
you got to get a little something to throw up there on the.
I mean,
I will never go to your bar again if you videotape.
I'll have you on hidden camera.
Oh, yeah.
Really trying.
That's
thinking
illegal.
Nobody's watching.
That's illegal. But okay.
Well, no, it's his establishment.
What up,
He
Luke?
can
How's
put
it going, Luke? All right.
It's his
I got you,
establishment. He
man.
can put cameras in there.
I would never embarrass you on purpose.
It's when you're on stage at
Unless it's
Wiley's and
funny.
we have that playing on the screens on the side.
That'd be great.
That's a good idea.
That would
That's
be
a good idea.
Get all the comics to join the salsa dancing classes, and then as they perform.
Why are we talking about me? Aren't we supposed to be? Where are you going with this, Don?
I don't know.
You got the moves like Jagger, man.
Didn't expect that. I know. I hit you out of left field. Let's go.
Yeah, that's all right. That's almost as good as the background music for the comedy rundown.
Comedy rundown.
Who's coming into Wiley's this week?
This week is the
There's another part of
comedy
the rundown.
competition. Is the annual fireworks comedy competition.
Oh, cool.
So we have a lot of good comics up. I'm not sure who's closing them out though.
I don't
'cause usually
know.
we have somebody closing the show, but I'm not sure who.
We didn't put
It'll
it
be
on
a
the
secret.
rundown.
You'll get to see a bunch of great comics just going toe to toe, and then a great closer is going to close the show out. I think the last time I was in the competition for the finals,
Closing it
Vince
out.
Morris
Ray Jackson's
closed
closing it out. Ray Jackson.
Is he?
Yep.
For the finals?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Ray Jackson.
I think he is. I hope I'm not wrong, because if I am, it's out there now.
Well, yeah. No,
It's out
it
there
has
now.
to be, yeah.
Put him out there.
It's permanent now.
I guess.
Way to go, Ed.
I guess I'll go ahead and cancel that show you just booked.
Shout out to Ray.
Yeah, we love Ray.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Ray
doing a
Jackson.
great job. He's actually the host of 2 Laugh Minimum Monday, and he's done a
Right.
fantastic job. He's just the epitome of a pro comedian who works regularly.
I've seen Ray. I've seen Ray in some shows where he showed me how much of a professional he is.
I'll call
We
Ray a
did
professional comic, but I won't say he's the epitome of anything. All right? Funny dude. If you're listening, Ray.
That's funny. I tried, buddy.
we did a wedding reception.
Okay.
We did a comedy show at a wedding reception,
that's
which
cool.
was disastrous.
Really?
And basically what they told us was after 9 o'clock, all the parents are going to take the kids home, and it's going to be an adult show. So be as raunchy as you want. So everybody got their raunchy material together, and they went up there, and 9 o'clock came. Nobody's kids went home.
Oh, gosh.
In fact, not only that, there were 2 kids that pulled chairs right up in front of the stage, and that basically became our audience because everybody else was on the other side of the dance floor.
Wow.
You guys felt that.
Oh, man, it was rough. It was
you
rough.
did the time?
What's that?
You did the time?
I did my, I think I had 10 minutes. I did my 10 minutes.
Like a professional.
And I steered away because there were a couple jokes I got halfway through, and it's like, and I just look at the kids and say, can't tell that one, kid. And finally, what I did is I invited a kid up on stage to tell fart jokes. That's what the one kid, he was like 6 years old. He had a blast. He came up and told
awesome.
fart jokes. But Ray got up there, and Ray just got up like it was nothing, like it was just something natural he was going to do. And instead of going up and doing his set, he ran it like he was emceeing the wedding. He's like, "Did anybody throw the bouquet yet?" And he just got everybody into it. And
that's what Ray does. He's,
you
that's
know,
that
improvise
like that
for your
good.
audience.
He's good at that, yeah.
Absolutely. It kind of reminds me of the time about a month ago. I come in and there's this lady sitting there at the bar with a kid, which I'm a restaurant. I'm not a bar. I'm arguing with the rest of the world about that, but you know, and the lady's there drinking like whiskey.
Oh, I remember this.
And this lady kept is one of the. I think you should have to attend beginner comedy spectating classes. I think some people need classes on how to listen to comedy because they don't get that they're not talking. You guys aren't talking directly to that person. It's not a private show.
Yeah.
I always am.
Yeah, it is.
But so she just kept like answering rhetorical questions you guys are giving, and it's already getting on my nerves. And I asked her, I just thought for some reason that lady had to be with somebody in the crew. And I'm like, who's this lady with? And I know she's with one of you guys. I don't want to hurt any feelings. He's like, we thought she was with you. I said, man, I can't have
that's you?
heckling my
you?
comedians. And he's like, I got this. I'm going up next. I got this under control. And I've never seen. He was like a 8th grade nun at a Catholic school, smacking her on the hands.
He literally asked her why she had her child there, and he was going to call social services. He's like, you don't say nothing else, so I'm just calling the authorities.
He started talking to the kid. He's like, this isn't how you're supposed to do it, honey.
Yep. At one point, Ray was like, you know what? I was going to censor my material, but F it. You brought her in here.
Yeah. And then she quickly finished her drink and just quietly walked out.
Yep.
Which was like a win.
There you go.
Yep.
That's a pro, too, is knowing how to handle a problem customer.
I always love at our open mics if we have somebody like really disrespectful and really rude get up on stage, which you have every now and then at an open mic. I always love when Ray goes up right after them.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Ray will do it.
Yep. He's
got that teacher aspect to him.
Yeah.
He used to be a teacher.
Yep. He still is, low key.
Isn't he?
I think, yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
He's a track coach, and well, I don't want to put his business out there, but,
I knew he was
Ray
coaching, but I thought he gave up teaching for comedy or something, man, which is cool. Yeah. Anybody who can...
They're pretty similar.
Pull that.
Yep.
See, I used to want to be a teacher till I realized I couldn't talk. Then I gave it up. No, I used to want to be a teacher until I started tutoring, and I thought I do not have the patience for this.
What were you going to teach? What did you want
to? English.
English. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's her background.
Yeah, you can tell, can't you?
Yep.
Yeah. It's going good.
Going good.
I was one of the English kids. No math, nothing on the left brain.
Well, I was good with math too because I tutored math and English at the same time, and they were equally brutal. As you just get to a point where you want to take the book up and just smack them in the head with it and hope something accidentally goes into their brain.
Yeah, my daughter is just like me. She just actually does better than me, but she hates math. And I just explained to her, listen, this is just a hoop you got to jump through. Once you jump through it, when you grow up, you can pay somebody to do this. Just pay somebody to do it.
Should we hit some news stories, Ed?
Let's hit everything. What are we hitting first?
Well, let's hit a couple news stories. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, this one's terrible. When a person dies, you should speak only well of them. But for one Minnesota woman, the message in her obit was clear. Good, she's dead. Kathleen Demlow died May 31st in Springfield at the age of 80, and the obituary submitted by her local newspaper by two of her children makes it clear she will not be missed by them.
Oh, this was the Facebook one. I know this one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Her obit, which appeared in the Redwood Falls Gazette, begins with the usual information, including her date of birth, her marriage to Dennis Demlow in 1957, and the two children she had with them, Gina and Jay. And then it takes a sharp turn. Quote, in 1962, she became pregnant by her husband's brother, Lyle Demlow, and moved to California. She abandoned her children, Gina and Jay, who were raised by her parents in Clements, Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Shunk. The obit then reads that Demlow, quote, will now face judgment and will not be missed by Gina and Jay, and they understand that the world is a better place without her.
Now, see, I give her a round of applause for living her best life.
Yeah.
You know, because
she made an impact.
She knew she was going to die and somebody was going to write on her. She knew this. And she was like, you know what? Write it.
Yep.
It's like her best two lives.
Yeah.
It's like she got a refund for the other one and bought a new one in California.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Every now and then you got to do that. You just got to trade it in.
Why not?
I hope the wife isn't listening.
Yep.
Because, like I said, she's already mad. But if she's listening, I'll go home and the house will be really clean.
Spick and span.
What'd you call it?
I said spick and span, man. Spick and span.
Oh.
But imagine that, though. Like, you live your life and, like, everybody makes mistakes, right? I mean, everybody makes mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
Your kids are that ticked off at you that they're like, yo, wait, as soon as this hoe dies.
Yeah. We're going to trash it.
It's happening.
In public.
It's happening.
It's in the news. We're
The
going
news.
to let's write her obit. They probably had this written ahead of time.
They're not too
Yeah,
bitter,
that
are
was
they?
like done like a couple years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like probably 20 years
Yeah.
ago. It's like,
And it doesn't say how she
break this
died.
out now. Yeah,
They probably
that's
let
true.
her
That's
die in
true.
hospice somewhere
Yeah.
and was like, yeah, doctor said 3 more days.
Yeah, they
Like
probably
they had it
didn't.
taped to the refrigerator, just waiting.
Yep. How did she die? I didn't let go of her head.
She gone. How about that? She gone.
Police in New Jersey said that a pig dubbed pork roll, after being found wandering outside a Dunkin' Donuts, was taken into custody for questioning. The Neptune Township Police Department said an officer responded to the report of a pig running loose near the local Dunkin' Donuts, and the officer quickly located and apprehended the pig, which the department nicknamed Pork Roll.
Cops arresting cops.
Yeah,
Is that what we're talking about?
that's what it sounds like to me.
Oh, okay.
I'm not used to cop-on-cop violence.
Yeah, I know.
Yep, the department's
But do it.
Facebook
Let's
post
go.
said the pig was taken into custody for questioning, and police provided their porcine prisoner, quote, with a job application as our new mascot. So, yeah, that pig's... What are you going to do, Ed?
That's a real question?
No. I mean,
Okay.
as far as what are you going to do if you're a cop called out to arrest a pig?
But first, I think we need to get rid of these white cops. Because he was definitely 2 white cops. I promise. So they arrested a pig.
They arrested a pig, apparently. Yeah. Which I don't get it. I mean, what kind of pig was it? A potbelly pig? I mean, if this was a normal sized pig, this was like
In New Jersey.
something. Yeah, in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things get as long as
yeah.
desk.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then you don't take them into you don't make them a mascot. You make them breakfast.
Because now you got to feed the pig.
Exactly.
You got to feed this pig. Somebody has to clean up after this pig.
Feedthepig.org.
It's the new guy.
Money.
It's the new guy, you know it.
Isn't
Oh yeah.
Straight out of the academy.
He's got to clean
Yeah.
up. He's got to
Yeah.
clean up after and feed the pig. He's got both in detail.
Welcome to law enforcement.
Yeah.
Here's a pitchfork.
Yep. Go take care of the pig.
That's crazy. Wow. Okay. News.
And founded a Dunkin' Donuts of all things.
Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah.
See, I have a bit about that, about cops and donuts. And it's just not like that anymore. Now it's cops and power bars. Yeah. Of course, sometimes it seems like it's cops and white power bars.
Yeah, you know what? You said it. So now there we go. Here we go. This is where these shows always take a turn, right?
Yeah.
This was
What's
You
up?
never know
Reverend
when it's
at the
gonna
50-minute mark. Yeah, it took that turn. Here we go. I knew there was a turn in her somewhere, Don.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because you're right.
People in love do strange things, but sabotaging their partner's career is typically not one of them. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who wrote this article?
Is this from the
Apparently
Mayberry
somebody
Gazette?
who hasn't been in a relationship. Canadian court has ruled that that's what Jennifer Lee did to her boyfriend by deleting an email he'd received from a prestigious music school and replacing it with a fake rejection note. On Wednesday, Ontario Superior Court Judge David Corbett found that Lee deliberately stalled the career of then ex-boyfriend Eric Abramovitz, which, if your name is Abramovitz, you're going to have to go to this prestigious music school. That's in 2014, when the two of them were music students at McGill University in Montreal. Corbett awarded a judgment worth $260,000 in U.S. dollars as a payback. In late 2013, Abramovitz.
Wait, she had to pay him
She had to pay $260,000.
Oh, she would have died.
Because in late 2013, Abramovitz applied to study at the Colburn Conservatory of Music in Los Angeles. Under the famed clarinet teacher Yehuda Galad, who accepts only 2 new students a year. Each receives a full scholarship that covers tuition, room and board, and money for their expenses.
That's rough.
And she deleted it.
Why? Okay, but why? What's the reason?
Vindictiveness. That's one simple.
She didn't want him to leave.
But why?
Because she lived in Montreal, and she didn't want to go to L.A., and he was going to study in L.A.
Is that what really happened?
That would be my guess, yes. Yes, that would be my guess, because she loved him so much she couldn't bear the thought.
I want to know
him
the details.
going away to L.A.
I want to know the details.
You have to look it up. It's
okay.
Abramovitz.
I've been divorced twice, and I have a baby mama. Get with me after the show.
Yeah.
260,000.
260,000 is the.
That's a steep.
That is.
That's just going to
cost. Kill him.
It's just going to cost her $1,000 for a bankruptcy. That's how you make those things go away.
Yeah. See, what gets me is what did he was a clarinet player. Now, how stalled was his music career?
She should have known. She should have known how dangerous he was right off the bat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Was he going to be? He missed his rock concert.
That's crazy.
He was going to be like the next guy in Jethro Tull.
Yep, there you go. Well, that was a flute, wasn't it?
So she had access to his email account.
He was rock and roll clarinet.
She had access to his email account then, right?
Apparently, because
then he did this to himself.
Yeah.
He did this to himself.
Yeah, he should be somewhat accountable.
Listen, I think it's very clear that he had a long career ahead of him in music.
Music, yes. Yeah, elevators everywhere will miss him.
They will.
That's probably what the lawsuit was about. Is he could have been playing in the elevator at that very courthouse.
Yep, you're right.
But no, he missed the opportunity.
Facts.
Yeah.
He could have been being ignored for 2 years earlier.
Yeah.
What's the next story? What's the next story?
We got time for one more before we have to go on our mandatory break. Let me see. This one's kind of a strange one, but we'll go ahead and do it anyway. A fisherman in Covington, Louisiana, made a bizarre discovery when he found what appeared to be a severed human finger inside the stomach of an alligator snapping turtle he was preparing to eat. He was cleaning for a meal. This is according to St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Captain Scott Lee, which is quite a long title for a short name. Said he was cleaning for a meal, at which time he found it inside of the turtle, and we were contacted. We notified the coroner's office, and they determined it is, in fact, a human finger. This is a very, very odd occurrence here, which I wouldn't think with it. Something called an alligator snapping turtle and people that go noodling for catfish. I would not think this would be all that rare an occurrence. There are probably several people walking around Louisiana not having all their fingers.
Right. I tried to get my finger back.
Yeah. You mean if you were the guy that was cleaning it in the turtle, or the guy that actually? Because technically, it's his now.
The finger belongs to somebody.
Turtle would have been split open if he bit my finger off.
Well, I mean, because if the finger's still intact, right? It hadn't decayed inside the turtle's stomach, so it's a recent thing, right? It's probably
probably decayed enough to where it was still recognizable, but still probably not attachable.
right. But I would still want my finger back.
You would still want. What are you going to make a key ring?
Look,
It's just your finger.
I would want my finger back.
Okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
The turtle was described as, quote, pretty large, and said the unidentified fisherman caught it Monday on a trout line at the Chifuncty River, a 70-mile-long river north of Lake Pontchartrain. So, yeah, he just snagged it on a trout line.
Yep.
and got a finger.
Yep.
So what do you think of that? Have you ever been noodling for catfish?
No, I've watched it on TV, though. And it doesn't.
Because that's how that
like the
happens.
smartest
Because you
thing to
basically
do.
put you find a hole underground with your feet under the water. Have you ever seen this done?
No.
Because
But I have catfished before.
You
Go ahead.
literally
this is fishing with your hands. Because you feel around with your feet until you find a hole underneath the water.
Okay.
And then you go down under and you stick your hand in that hole and you try to get a catfish to basically latch onto your arm. And then you pull him out. And every now and then they reach in that hole and there's an alligator snapping turtle in there. And they lose a finger. There aren't a lot of professional noodlers that have all their fingers. You should try this sometime, Ed.
I wouldn't reach my hand in any hole that's underwater, the muddy water that I can't see. That just seems like anti-self.
Yeah, it's yeah. There aren't a whole lot of things I'd stick through a whole lot of holes that I wasn't sure what was on the other side. And on that note, I think it's time to On that note, I think it's time to take a little break. And we're just gonna play a bunch of ads this time around.
Yeah.
If that's okay with you, Ed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still trying to get over the white people stuff I just heard about.
That noodling, that's pretty much white people.
That's
I
white people
trust
stuff.
any one of us three in this room if we continue with that conversation.
No,
Right.
absolutely not. All right. All right, we're going to take a little break, and we will be back here shortly.
Move over, Jimmy Kimmel. Step aside, Conan O'Brien. Back off, Stephen Colbert. It's my turn. I'm Mike Shea, and every Tuesday on my show, Mike Talks Funny, I sit down and talk with comedians, actors, film fans, podcasters, anybody willing to get down, get deep, and get dirty.
I don't remember the first time I had sex. That was horrible. I didn't even finish the first time I had sex.
I've tasted what most comics want, and now I have to go back and eat the leftovers.
You're so brave for wearing that shade of lipstick on stage. Oh my God.
Think of Last Comic Standing and Mystery Science Theater 3000 had a baby, and that's the show.
My online doppelganger is also a larger black man. He is Adrian Miller. All the top results are he's a professor.
Interviews with great people, not to mention all kinds of awesome new music every show.
Hey, this is Don Smith.
This is Scotty Mage.
Hey, this is Kevin Goatee with Comics Watching Comics.
Brought to you by Eventide Entertainment. Oprah's Book of the Month Club? Please. We've got something much better in store for you.
Let's talk about books. The energy is right. I got a candle going. It feels good.
Every Monday morning, Jessica Gillen sits down and talks with you about the very best in books and literature.
Murder on the Orient Express. The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter. The Cruel Prince.
It's The Bookseller. Every Monday morning, brought to you by Eventide Entertainment.
I said, put the bunny back in the box.
All right, we're back on the Life Radio Show here, broadcasting from the Wiley's Comedy Studios.
There we go.
At WWSU 106.9. I'm your host, the Don Smith, sitting here with my guest co-host, the Ed John.
Just Ed. John.
Just Ed, the Ed.
Ed John.
Oh, okay. You don't want the.
Nope. What's up?
You're picky, aren't you?
I am. I've been called a diva from time to time.
And Luke Feerer from Hannah's is still in here with us.
Yeah.
And you guys didn't even comment that I just played a clip from Nick Cage. So
I didn't hear it.
You didn't
Cage
hear
is not that identifiable.
You didn't hear the put the bunny back in the box.
Totally didn't get it
from Con Air.
I heard, yeah.
Or Forrest Gump goes to prison, as I like to call it.
Nick Cage isn't one of those voices that just grab you.
It depends.
Yeah,
It depends
like
on what he's
whining.
doing. Yeah.
Right.
He almost seems like he's hungover on a Monday morning.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
Because even when he's crazy, he still seems like he's crazy just because he's hungover and somebody keeps bothering him.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. At least he doesn't have asthma. That's another one for you, Mike Wells, if you're listening. That's Chris. What do you think of Christian Bale?
My God! Oh my God!
Christian Bale. I don't know. I'm underwhelmed.
Yep. I just have to mess with you. That's okay.
He's the
He was
best
all right.
Batman.
He was all right until he did that screwy voice in Batman.
Oh, really? I'm
Thank
done.
you.
I'm done. I'm done. Ed John signing out.
Oh, come on, Ed.
I mean, like, it kind of reminded me of when your older brother's trying to scare you when your parents are out for the night. You're like, I know that's you. Stop.
Yep, you're not scaring anybody, Bruce.
I know.
Bruce,
Come
your
on,
name's
Bruce.
Huh?
Your name's Bruce.
Yeah. Batman.
I like Christian Bale.
I know.
think
That's
he's
why
all
I
right.
keep
I think he's a good
messing.
actor.
That's why I
Christian
keep
Bale.
messing with you because it's so much fun.
He won me over on American Psycho.
You guys, there were there were 4 people in that studio that day that were all mad at me for saying Christian Bale sucks. So I have to keep it going.
He's the best Batman. He's the best
I didn't
Batman.
know people were that protective.
Oh yeah, Mike Wells was furious.
Shout out Mike Wells.
I love Mike. He's funny. But yeah,
Are you guys getting paid for every time you mention Mike on there?
He brought it up again on
Mike pays
Saturday.
us every time we mention his name.
Yep, if that was true.
When a woman has camel toe.
I missed that one. Was that one of his? I
Yeah,
missed
that's
that.
one of his.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so you were Luke. You were talking about some things going on at Hannah's and the possibility of some interns.
Yeah. Just to give you
that sounded really creepy. The possibility of some interns. I'm in. Sign me up.
So you need a ugly
I'm not even going to go with that one. We're on the university.
You need an ugly middle-aged intern.
No, we just to tell you a little bit about Hannah's, we produce 9 live entertainment events a week there.
Wow.
Beginning next week, we're going to be adding beginner salsa classes on Monday night from 7 to 8, and immediately following that is going to be our 2 Laugh Minimum Monday, which is a comedy showcase that we have. We've been having it for about 2 months now.
About 2 months, yep.
And it's going great, and we're evolving it into a full-blown show. It's not going to be like an open mic as much, but and then on Tuesdays, every Tuesday from 5 to 7, we have what's called Tuesday and Chill. It's a one-man acoustic show with Chris Bro. Shout out to Chris; he's a phenomenal artist. He's really like a resort quality one-man show that just sings your favorite cover songs. It's early from 5 to 7. And then on Wednesdays we have the Vibe Session. That's funk fusion with reggae undertones. A lot of people from the gospel scene, as a matter of fact, come in on Wednesday nights to get their R&B fix and to be able to sing with the backing of a high quality band and pro audio. And then on Thursdays from 5 to 8 we have what's called Oysters and Jazz. I've got the best oysters in town. They're alive right until you eat them. And that jazz night is curated and hosted by Dr. Willie Morris of the UD Jazz program. He heads up the UD jazz program over there. So he hosts that. And then later on that night, we have the Artist in Residence series. Every Thursday, beginning at 9 o'clock, we feature a different, new, up-and-coming local artist for a whole month on Thursdays, beginning at 9. And then on Saturdays, we have the All Ages Blues session from 5 to 8 p.m. every Saturday. It's family-friendly. It's early. Like I said, it's from 5 to 8. And the Vibe session and the Oysters and Jazz and the Blues session, Those are all free events, and those are events where if you're a musician or a performer, a vocalist, it's an opportunity for you to come out and play with a full band backing. You on a pro audio system, and just I think that's a unique experience, especially for artists, especially the ones that just play in their basements or their garage because all their buddies grew up and quit playing, they got married, and they just
made all the usual mistakes.
It's an outlet. Yeah, it's definitely a palette for musicians to come and collaborate with other musicians. But the reason I listed all that, other than a shameless plug, was
that was a rundown that we didn't have
but that's true.
We
needed background singing on the
start
rundown.
over. But what happens Monday?
We have we have 2 open internships with Wright State University right now, though, and the first one is a marketing internship, and the other one is a production intern. So the reason those events are important is because that's specifically what we're going to be bringing these interns in to deal with on a day-to-day basis. They're going to get a lot of good hands-on experience. It is they are unpaid internships, but hey, I had one too.
That's most of them.
I had one too. Mine wasn't paid either. But yeah,
I'm going to have to look into that for the club. We could use a marketing intern.
Absolutely. Just make sure I get mine first.
Okay.
But yeah,
it sounds like you would keep them busier.
Oh well,
with 9 events, you got to be busy.
Exactly.
How many shows you guys do at Wiley's?
It depends on the week.
On the weekends?
I mean, most of it's just our main shows come through on Friday and Saturday nights. We have the Wiley Sunday Comics on Sundays. Occasionally through the week, we'll have a Thursday night show. Every now and then, something on a Wednesday night. Sometimes we have different events on Tuesdays. Like tonight, there's the film Dayton Connections is there. So,
okay.
Yeah, there are different events. We actually have
the Story Slam.
The Story Slam usually happens on Tuesday nights.
That's great.
I believe July 14th. Well, yeah, there's the mail review.
How you like that? I heard you went to the last 3.
Well, the G-string chafes. That's the only problem. Once you got so much money tucked into it, it's not coming.
I heard you were enjoying the show, not performing.
It was both.
Okay,
it was both.
Okay,
I was enjoying the show and performing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I bet you were tucking more than money in that thing too.
Well, I had to. You don't want things spilling out.
At least they're cracking.
But I was going to mention, I believe on July 14th, we're going to have a film premiere there as well.
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Well, it's not finalized yet,
what
but
film?
I believe you should know.
Black Mamba?
Black Mamba. Yeah,
what?
Yeah.
Okay, I heard a lot of good things about that film.
Yeah.
And
there's
the people
a lot of good actors in there. A lot of good
William
people.
Lee. Shout out to William Lee.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're in that film, right?
I am in that film.
This is like your 12th one.
I die in that film a few times.
Is this a new film?
This is actually probably 50 to 60% of it was filmed at Wiley's.
That's awesome.
So,
I wouldn't mind attending that. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's still we're still planning everything out, but I'm pretty sure we are going to open it up to the public. So
that's going to be dope.
Yeah.
When are you targeting?
Right now, we're looking at Saturday, July 14th.
When are we going? That's right around the corner.
Yet,
when are we going to get our tuxes?
You can get yours whenever you're ready.
Okay, you got yours already?
Oh, absolutely.
Get a tux.
Yeah, we were talking.
Gotta have a date
about tucking in.
Gotta have a date.
Yep.
For the red carpet.
I would.
It's a premiere.
Wife wouldn't appreciate it.
Well, she could. Well, you have a date, but I gotta get a date.
You better get a date, Ed.
All you got to do is drive your car around the block a couple times.
Yeah,
I gotta.
Yeah, you got to get your dress.
Not my dress, but I gotta get a dress.
She doesn't need a dress. That's okay.
What's Black Mamba about?
Well, I can't say too much. It's about a young lady that her and her family have some bad things happen to them, and she gets even.
Okay. Now, is this just a film group that you're associated with, or is it associated with anybody in the university or anything like that?
No, this is not associated with the university.
These are professionals, Luke.
Yeah, this is a professional.
Nice.
William Lee is the director, and he's been directing movies for 40 some years.
That's awesome.
And 6 Feet Below Hell is one of the more recent ones we've done, and that's actually been available to rent on Redbox for over a year now.
Cool.
So yeah, that one had some staying power. So
okay, is that basically horror genre?
He does a little bit of everything. Yeah, he does a lot of action movies. We had one called Straight Outta Hate, which was Redbox was a little afraid of. They eventually put it out as a limited release, but it was about police violence and retaliation for such violence. Yeah. It was a very good movie.
I love the names.
Very well.
The names are really kind of enthralling.
Yeah, he's got several of them out there.
I'm
He's
totally
got,
a guy who rents movies based off how good the pictures are on the front and what and if the title's cool.
Yeah. Well, we got the cool titles. Yeah. But you'll have to check out 6 Feet Below Hell that's out there right now.
Check that out.
Because Reggie is awesome. That's one of the best characters in the history of film.
Okay, is that your character?
Reggie, yeah.
You could pull off a Reggie.
Oh, it was actually I was not cast as Reggie. I ended up accidentally being Reggie because
you were so perfect for it.
Well, because somebody backed out last minute, and I didn't. Yeah, well, that's indie film.
I love life.
Somebody backed out like 23 hours before we were supposed to be on set, and at that point, the director's faced with: do I rewrite and write that character out in the next 20 hours, or do we try to find somebody else?
Yeah.
Well, he was about to write the character out. When I got a hold of him, I said, look, I'm not scheduled to be on set for another 3 weeks. I can step in as Reggie, and you can recast my character. And Reggie was he was a lot of fun. Awesome. When we got to the set, the first day of filming when I was Reggie, we had to move locations because we lost our location for the day because the guy that was supposed to open up was passed out drunk inside the building and didn't let us in.
Also indie
film problems. So we had to, in about 2 hours, we found a new location.
Y'all better
and got
quit
over
casting
there.
Nick Cage.
And exactly. And the script that was written didn't match what we had to work with at the new location. So we ad-libbed pretty much everything in that whole first scene with Reggie was pretty much completely ad-libbed.
Well, that's cool.
It was a lot of fun. That was some
I
of
love
the
when
most
things
fun
like that
I've
work
had.
out. One thing I've been talking a lot to my daughter about is how I think life boils down to suiting up and showing up.
Yeah.
And if you do that enough days in a row, things materialize and things happen.
Yeah.
Here's the turn.
Half the good things that have happened to me have been on accident, or I was at the right place at the right time, and the opportunity presented itself. So,
well, yeah, you got to put yourself out there and kind of are you all right, Ed?
Oh yeah, you got to put yourself out there. You got to show up and suit up.
I'm just checking on you. You got
that's
the
advice he
headphones
gives his
on
daughter.
over
That's
there.
good advice.
You
the
guys
show
are
just took that
connected
turn.
Yeah. It'll turn back. Don't worry.
Turn back.
But no, it's
he's like that guy in he's like that guy, and there's something about Mary.
I'm wearing headphones right now for no reason. For no reason, wearing the headphones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, he doesn't like anybody messing with.
Wearing the headphones. Let's go.
All right. Can you hear anything on those, or are you even?
He's just trying to look 1980.
Perfectly fine.
All right, cool.
We're here. Let's do it.
You just derailed the whole show with your headphones, Ed.
The life. With Don Smith.
How's everything in Ed's world? What do you got going on, Ed?
Comedy Studios.
What was that, Luke?
What do you got going on? You have any upcoming shows?
I do. I'm in the contest we talked about earlier for Wiley's Fireworks.
Yeah, you're in the Friday night 9:30
Friday night
show,
9:30. So you want to come out and support?
Yeah.
Actually, Don and I were in the same show.
Yeah, we're both in the same show, the same.
Not competing, but performing.
Okay, cool.
On the same night. And that's really it. Just living the dream. Constantly living the dream.
Yeah, you're also one of our featured comedians on Monday nights at Hannah.
Oh, well, thank you.
He's a featured.
Thank you for the stage time.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that. But you did a Hannah's rundown, and we have a thing now for the rundown.
Yeah, he's got to do the background music.
Everything for the rundown. So
for
we need
any
to know.
time we do any kind
we need
of
to
rundown.
know anytime you have a rundown. If I'm not here, you need a rundown.
Well, next time I do it, I'm going to do it in my best Ving Rhames voice.
Yeah.
So
We have to change it up every time we do it.
You're going to have to drop it low.
Okay. Ben Raines.
You're going to have to dig deep.
Ben Raines. Or I think we should have it like one per day, like keep the same jingle. When are you doing the rundown for this?
Yeah.
episode?
Do you remember the jingle?
Oh, yeah, I got it in my head.
Okay.
Automatic.
I told my daughter I don't care how she has my funeral services as long as Ving Rhames reads my eulogy.
Sounds reasonable.
Isn't Ben Raines like
Sounds so
90 years old?
Yeah. See, I always wanted Morgan Freeman to do mine, but I better hurry.
But have you heard those Arby's commercials?
Yep.
He's so majestic.
I wouldn't call him majestic, though. I wouldn't call Ben Raines majestic.
His voice,
No,
man.
no.
You can tell he's been in voice classes.
In the fifth, your ass goes down. You're going to feel a little steam, but that's pride.
Yeah, I love that.
So let me hear it, Jake.
Now I'm going to have to get medieval in your way.
If you was going to make it, you would have been made it. In the fifth,
That was a great role, man.
your ass goes down.
Yeah, weren't we? We were just talking about.
We
that
were?
earlier. Yeah.
That's probably my favorite character of Quentin Tarantino in one of his movies. It's one in Pulp Fiction.
I barely remember his character in that one.
Marcellus? You don't know Marcellus?
We're talking about
It's
Ben Raines.
we're talking about the writer.
Yeah.
Oh, Quentin Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino. He has
yeah.
a cameo in every one of his movies.
Oh, yeah. Like Stanley?
Yeah, and that was my favorite. When John Travolta and Samuel Jackson show up at his house with a dead guy.
Yes.
Yeah, I do not remember that character in there. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't believe how that's got to be 20 years old. You think?
More than that.
Yeah, it's
90,
there,
early
yeah.
90s?
Yeah.
93? 92?
I don't remember.
I can't believe I haven't been in this building in over 20 years.
Yeah, I can't believe I've been in this studio for 3.5.
Yeah.
Where is the time gone?
The campus looks great, by the way. It really does. Hats off to the university for keeping it modern looking.
Yeah. Well, I used to work here in maintenance. So.
Yeah.
So that's all Don's doing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Don.
Yeah.
That's all Don. These buildings getting up
And
so
then I
quickly, that's
left.
maintenance.
I ran
that's
out.
maintenance. The syllabus, that's all Don right there.
Yeah.
That's maintenance right
Yep.
there.
There
Yep.
you go. That's
Yep.
the maintenance man. Yeah. All right. I think it's time to take a little break. What do you want to hear?
Let's hear some also. Can you play anything on here?
Got any Keith Sweat?
Since I put this out as a podcast in several different areas, I only play music that I have express permission to play from the band.
Okay. Before we go to break, Luke's got to do the Keith Sweat joke. Do the Keith Sweat joke.
The who what?
I forget.
The Keith Sweat joke. You know Keith Sweat?
I've heard the name. Yeah.
You talking about what I said yesterday? I
Yeah.
forget what I said.
Yeah. So Keith Sweat was involved in the plane crash. The artist, Keith Sweat, was involved in the plane crash and he died. They found his head, but nobody.
That's like a twist on the.
That was horrible.
That's like a twist on the old '80s joke about the astronauts.
Oh yeah, from the Challenger. Yeah. There were so many jokes.
I just can't even say it.
Yeah, they were pretty bad.
I'll tell you after the break.
Yeah,
after the break.
All right. What did I pull up to play? Some St. Mary, St. Michael. I usually play music from artists that I know or that I've had on the show that have given me permission to use.
Yeah.
I use a lot of Potter's Field because I have permission. I actually cut Potter's Field music up and use it as my intros and outros and promos and stuff. So, but this is St. Mary, St. Michael, a song called Neat, which he actually performed live in the studio for us when he was in here. So we will play some music, and we will be back here shortly on the Life Radio Show.
my job and left my girl to just go and tour the world. Wanna taste every single thing, every bit of life that brings. It's a crime, you see, to be ordinary. It's a crime, you see, to be ordinary. I just want to be something real you can feel, and I just want to be something real you can feel with me. I'm restless at 3 a.m. Regrets from the past closing in. Thought I put them to the grave, but I guess it's too late. Leave them all in the past. When I have 1,000 fans, maybe they will love me. 'Cause I don't feel anything. I just wanna be there on the stage, staring God right in the face. The lights will dim and I will sing as the curtains open. It's a crime, you see, to be ordinary. It's a crime, you see, to be ordinary.
Hey man, this is Donnie Baker at Wiley's Comedy Club, and you're listening to WWSU 106.9. I swear to God.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started, Ed. I don't know what happened to Luke. I've been waiting for my guests to just start running off, and finally one of them has escaped. So
he went to the restroom, right?
Yes.
I'm not finding a.
No.
I'm not.
He'll be okay.
Luke,
he made it.
I was just about to go look for you.
Yeah, we were about to send a search party in there. Was it the?
I heard Donnie talking down the hallway. Started running.
See, we were afraid you got into the universal restrooms down there and you weren't sure how to go anymore.
I'll tell you what, I did had to pause for a moment.
Those
and read between the lines because there's one that has stalls only.
Right.
There's one that has
so you know what it used to be before they just because all they did is put a new sign up. Yeah, all they did is put 2 new signs up. Everything
actually,
else is still there.
I got to be honest. I was walking down the halls and really admiring the place. I'm pretty proud of my alma mater.
Yeah, there you go.
20 years later.
Yeah. 20. Yeah. See, all they did was change the signs. They're still the same restrooms. So basically,
everything's the same.
The restrooms are technically trans restrooms because they just identify differently now.
That was horrible. That was horrible. That was horrible. That was horrible.
It's okay, Ed. It's okay.
That was horrible.
So it's like everything before you just got to peek before you go in.
Right.
You could take a peek.
Don, that was horrible.
Yeah, which makes it even creepier.
That was horrible.
Yeah. What is he doing? I think he's peeking to see if he's okay. It's okay, Ed. We'll get past this. We'll get past it. Well, we make it past all my other horrible jokes. We'll get past this one too.
But that was
We're
the new low.
transcending it. We're trying to transcend it.
Really?
That was a new low.
Ed holds
Mission
grudges.
accomplished.
He doesn't let things go, does he?
Who,
No,
Ed?
because I expect better from Don.
Who,
Don
Ed?
has shown better. He's shown better.
You could.
Friends don't let friends
Hey,
do what he
make
just
bad
did.
jokes.
You don't hit a home run every time, Ed. I mean, I do most of the time, but you don't. That's what I'm saying.
You're right. I'm an on-base kind of guy. I'm an on-base kind of guy.
You're a base.
He'll take a walk.
Yeah,
He'll take a walk.
I'm on base.
Yeah.
He said
He'll lean
walk.
into a pitch. He ain't above
HBP.
leaning into a pitch.
Yeah, I'm on base kind of guy. I'm good for a good double.
All right.
Standing triple
It's
sometimes.
like the movie Moneyball.
Yeah.
Exactly, like Mr. 3000.
See, the bad thing is you go for a home run every now and then you strike out.
You're right.
It's going, and every now and then you hit a foul ball and get somebody that's reaching for a hot dog and ruin their life.
It's like hitting on chicks in an 18 and up dance club.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
You win some. You
I
lose some.
really don't know. See, I was talking about the baseball and the foul ball, and I'm going to switch news stories and do this one first now. She might have got a bruising at the ballpark, but Philadelphia Phillies fan Kathy McVeigh is still true, even if she's black and blue. Hey, and you're wearing the Phillies hat. McVeigh has a black eye after being hit Monday night when her team's mascot, the Philly Fanatic, shot a Frankfurter out of a hot dog-shaped cannon into the stands above home plate. Sadly, McVeigh's attempt to catch the flying wiener didn't work, an error she blames on a shoulder injury that requires surgery.
She tried to catch it with her face?
She said it came down with such a force, like a ton of bricks. My glasses flew off and I started bleeding. McVeigh ended up in the hospital emergency room that night where a scan confirmed that she didn't have a concussion, just had a wiener in her face.
That's the first time
I've
ever heard a woman
Yep.
complain about
That's the first time you heard her complain about that?
It's the first time I heard a woman complain about a big wiener hitting her in her face.
I hear that complaint all the time.
I respect women. I respect
usually
the female race, and I would never take part of jokes like that.
Female race?
Yeah.
They're a whole race now.
I respect the female demographic.
No, I
okay,
respect
and
them.
I'm not gonna co-sign to those horrible things y'all were saying about women. I'm not gonna.
I was just talking about a
don't
nice
get me in a
little
room
news
full of
story about a
comedians
lady
and expect me
getting
to be
smacked
nice.
by a wiener, and somebody had to go and turn it into something rude. I mean, that's just. I can't control everything my guests
Like
do.
you
Ed.
didn't see these
Imagine
jokes
what would have
coming
happened had
down the
she
line, like,
had
8
her
hours
mouth.
ago.
Huh?
You were like, "This is going to be gold for tonight."
Yeah, yep. She took a wiener to the face. It happens sometimes at a ball game.
Could have been some balls.
Yeah. If she was lucky, it was just a wiener.
Yeah.
Puns are
Because those balls are a lot worse to take to the face.
Yeah. Yeah. At a baseball game, so yeah.
At a baseball game,
been,
yeah, out of a wiener-shaped cannon.
Could have been.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. And there was a guy there throwing nuts. Could have been. In concession
I
stands.
think the lesson this lady has learned is the next time she sees a wiener flying towards her face,
Yeah, just get out of the way. Yeah, just either catch it or get out of the way. Usually, if a wiener comes flying in my face, I'm getting the hell out of the way.
cutting myself off right now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say or think anymore about it.
It's a ball game. A lot of games could have hit her in the face.
Yeah. Well, nobody expects to get hit by a wiener at a ball game.
No. I mean, a lot
Expect to get hit by a ball, maybe.
Yeah.
I expected to hit me about an hour later on the way home.
The wiener?
When we're caught in traffic in between exits.
Those sacks of nuts are heavy at games.
Well,
I've seen like a half-pound sack before.
Beans and planks.
As you get older.
And then
Gravity. It's a bitch.
Yeah. See, sometimes I'm glad you don't put the microphone right by your face. If gun tattoos are outlawed, only outlaws will have gun tattoos. The South Carolina man barred from possessing firearms because of his criminal record was arrested over the weekend and charged with weapons possession. After 24-year-old Michael Vines slammed his Toyota Camry into a power pole on Saturday night, firefighters saw him toss a handgun into the grass, according to Greenville police report.
Greenville, South
according
Carolina.
to the smoking gun of all things. Authorities charged Vines with driving under a suspended license, driving too fast for conditions, and unlawful carrying of a firearm. The handgun police accused Vines of carrying was a fully loaded Smith & Wesson .38 caliber revolver. Vines is prohibited from owning a gun because of a rap sheet that includes multiple narcotics convictions. Vines isn't shy about his fondness for guns. He has a tattoo of a gun prominently displayed on his forehead. So he is not allowed to own a firearm, is busted on weapons charges, and has a handgun tattooed on his forehead.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
I wonder if he has a no regrets tattoo on his chest.
Misspelled, most likely, yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, the gun stuck in his forehead is not a real one.
I just can't imagine living my whole life with a gun to my head.
Yeah. Well, I guess it makes him get up and do stuff.
Well, he didn't have it at birth, Luke. Pay attention to the.
You're right.
He didn't. It's not.
You
his
never
whole
know.
life.
His parents could have foreseen some things, and they just went ahead and had, as soon as he was born, they tattooed a gun to his forehead. Like, this kid's going to be
Granddaddy
trouble.
had
We
one?
might as well. What's that?
Granddaddy had one.
Yeah, just like Granddad.
I wonder if after he got that
maybe it was a
tattoo,
birthmark. Yeah.
I wonder if he thought this would be great for my future employers.
Right. Well, any face tattoo is definitely a good idea.
It shows
for
you're
job
committed.
hunting. Yeah, exactly.
Shows
It shows that
Decisive.
you're able to. Yeah. You stick with your decisions.
Yep.
Yeah. And since it was only one, he must have learned from his mistakes.
I don't know if I'm gonna reject a guy for a job once he walks in with a gun tattooed on his forehead. I'm gonna give him that job.
Oh,
Really? Really?
I'm gonna give him that. I'm not gonna piss that guy off. That's the one dude you don't piss off.
Why is that?
He has a gun tattooed on his forehead.
He can't shoot you with a gun tattoo.
Yeah, but he don't care about his life. He can't care about yours.
I know, but listen, he's a guy who got a gun tattooed to his forehead. So no matter how dangerous he is, you always know you can outsmart him.
That is true. That is, yeah. It's not a lot of wit involved there. It's
This dude can take a needle to the forehead. That's all bone.
Yeah.
Well, them guys that get Botox do all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a guy with a gun tattooed on his forehead ain't got the money for Botox. I'm gonna say that's a safe assumption.
Well, he's got money for probably a $500 tattoo. That's the thing that gets me.
Oh yeah. That's.
I mean,
the decisions they make with what little money they get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was busted on several narcotics charges, so he may have had some money at one time.
Joint.
He's classy enough to drive a Toyota Camry.
Exactly. Yeah, it's probably got the gold-plated emblems on
It's
it.
a lifestyle
Class.
choice.
Class.
Yep, nothing but class.
Class.
Spinners.
Class act.
Spinners and an aftermarket spoiler.
Oh yeah. Nothing. He's styling with his gun.
In his
tattoo.
aunt's car.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. There's a wave of excitement at Ireland's Megamore Beach this past weekend, and that's the naked truth. That's because 2,505 women banded together to break the Guinness World Record for largest skinny dip as part of an event to raise money for a local cancer charity. So it's all to a good cause. The previous record of 786 people was set in March 2015 in Perth, Australia. The record attempt was more impressive because it had 3 times the participants, even though the water was a chilly 53 degrees.
Ooh.
So that's a way to lose an eye right there.
I got you.
Nothing. Okay.
I was just thinking about.
See, I tried to stop it earlier, Don. Now we're going down that rabbit hole, Don.
Oh yeah. Well, we've only got a little bit of time left, Ed.
Get it out.
We might as well get it up. We'll experience everything that we have.
Let's do it.
In the next few minutes.
Let's do it.
That way we can come out of here better people.
Let's. You know what?
I already feel better.
Change my night. Let's do
See?
it. Let's
more news.
Let's do it. Damn, that changed my. Okay,
yeah. Okay, well, this one I did. I actually believe I did this one last week. But if you want to talk, we can also talk about a $24,000 joint. Yeah. Got money to burn? Well, you could always spend it on a joint worth $24,000. That's the estimated worth of a 3-foot-long joint that was auctioned off last Thursday night for charity by Stone Road Farms, a Los Angeles-based cannabis company. The mega-sized marijuana cigarette contains more than a pound of weed, as well as 6 ounces of concentrate and 2 ounces of bubble hash, according to Stone Road founder Lex Corwin, who commissioned the joint. Did we mention that it's wrapped in rolling papers made of 24-karat gold leaf worth $5,000 alone?
Wow. Just what I want to do in hell.
Yeah, exactly.
Precious minerals.
Why not? It's bound to be good for you.
I'm just doing the math. I'm thinking $24,000.
$24,000.
Yeah, for
somebody bought it.
Oh yeah,
who bought it?
It was for a charity.
Who bought it?
Some rich kid, some rich white kid.
I really don't know. Yeah.
Yes, somebody bought it.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, he's not that stupid.
Nah. A pound.
A pound of
He has 3
weed.
of those in the trunk of his car. Why would
Right
he?
now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
A pound.
A pound.
A pound plus some.
Where was this?
Plus,
Where was this?
plus what, 6 ounces of concentrate and.
Where was this?
This was out in where? Well, Stone Road Farms is based in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Cali, you had to know it was Cali.
Yeah.
Cali. Yeah. How is that not drug dealing?
Because
it's California, and
legal.
nobody cares.
It's legal out there, even recreational.
To sell it at an auction?
Well,
why not?
They probably have a license.
Well, yeah, Stone Road
they're a
Farms.
licensed
They're a
producer.
farm that grows. Yeah, they are a licensed producer.
Okay.
So
Did
they
you guys
can
hear any
sell it.
updates on the Ohio marijuana law? I've heard some bits and pieces. I heard that they're about ready to make it recreational.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
Wow.
I heard it's going to be on the ballot, and
It's always been recreational.
Well, yeah, it's just legal.
Yeah.
Recreational.
Yeah.
I say why not?
I mean,
do it.
You know,
I say why
I mean,
not?
not right here. We
Just
can't
based
right
on the
here,
fact that Colorado mailed all their citizens a check for over $600 last year because they had a surplus of money.
Yeah, well, there you go.
You need to.
How many politicians are going to let that ride, not making that money? It's impossible.
Yeah, it's
It's
impossible.
sad that it comes down to the money, but
Well,
you
it
can't
does,
lie with
though.
numbers.
You
Well,
make money
there's
off of selling.
still a lot of really, there are still the Jeff Sessions of the world.
Yeah,
that
they're becoming more
should just go back in their
irrelevant.
tree and continue to make cookies.
Correct.
With the rest of the
I
elves.
agree.
But
I seriously think that they're just being marginalized at this point. I think that
Who's being marginalized?
Jeff Sessions?
The people like
he should
that.
be. He should.
I say sell it and make the money. I mean, you profit off of every other resource.
He shouldn't be marginalized. He should be lobotomized.
Yeah,
that would be a better. Yeah.
For what? There's nothing floating around up there worth cutting up.
There's nothing to drill.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can still have some fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you might need a pencil holder. Trump might need a pencil holder in his desk. It could be Jeff Sessions' holy head.
We should start dropping people off the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Huh?
Start dropping people off the highest point in the Grand Canyon. Like politicians who don't meet up to the standard, we should just drop them.
There wouldn't be any left.
Okay.
That's pretty much all of them.
I think
and I'm good with that.
I think we ought to begin charging these crazy soccer moms who call the police for no reason at parks and cookouts and things like that. I think they should be billed for services just like an ambulance. Like if you call an ambulance, you
and if they call for no reason and it results in somebody getting shot and killed, they should be up for murder charges.
Murder, absolutely.
And I'm referring, of course, to the Walmart right here in Beaver Creek where that happened.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about
that man that caused that panic that actually caused the death of 2 people should have been brought up on charges.
You know, with all that's going on lately, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like it's all suburban soccer moms
It's
that are
always
doing
been
it.
suburban soccer moms.
But, I mean, really, this conversation began back with the Beaver Creek Walmart.
This conversation didn't start.
Well,
police brutality and
I'm
and
just
stupid.
saying that it's been publicized more, is what I'll tell you.
Yeah, it's been brought.
I feel like it's been brought to my attention more as a 45-year-old white guy.
So what about Rodney King? This ain't the first time
No,
a black man got shot on some false
No,
crap. This ain't the first time.
You're right, but I mean, it wasn't because someone called on him.
No, it's because it don't matter who called.
Right.
The cops went too far.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And there's no argument there. I'm just saying that I think people are fed up with it more than they haven't, and that's sad for us as a society.
Yeah,
I'm not proud of that, but I think the fact that it's being exposed and it's being talked about and it's being not tolerated anymore, I think that's a win for us.
But ain't nothing gonna happen. I hate to be the negative Nancy, but ain't nothing gonna happen.
That's what I'm saying. I think we need to hold these people accountable.
Hey, that ain't gonna happen.
Absolutely.
You had me dispatch 2 police cars. That's 4 employees. It cost us 8 man hours. You calculate all the risk. It's going to cost you $2,000 every time you call the cops and you don't have a reason. There's not a valid reason.
Right.
Then you're going to pay. Fine them.
I say I have no problem with calling the cops when there's no reason, because these cops just sit around trying to give tickets anyway. Every time I pull through a parking lot and I see a cop hiding behind the building, I was like, this dude ain't doing shit. Yeah. So call him. Call him. Have him running around. I don't care.
Actually, never mind.
But people shouldn't die because a cop got called unnecessarily.
Right.
People call. I don't care if cops are going on wild goose chases. I don't care.
Right.
Just don't pull your arm.
Well, yeah, that goes to that goes back to training. See, that's I've had this discussion with police officers where they, I've had discussions with ones I know, not like I don't walk up to random cops.
That's how you got to do it, Don.
Hey,
that's
man,
how you got to do it.
Have I got some things to discuss with you? Because actually, I saw somebody doing that Saturday night outside of Wiley's, and I laughed. Big, fat, drunk white lady walked up. There was police parked in their truck across the street, and she just starts yelling, "Don't shoot! I'm white!" And they came over and took her information.
They did? That's funny.
Like, yep, that's an idiot right there.
Yes, that's not an idiot. We need people doing that. We need people saying, "Hey, don't," because you need that.
No, she was an idiot.
Why? Because she was why?
Because she was an idiot.
You just doing.
But she was drunk. She was drunk and didn't get a public intox. See?
Well, it was the Oregon district.
That's bull. Yeah,
so,
right. Well, they don't pay Dayton cops enough to take people in for minor technicalities.
I was actually waiting for him to come back and say she had a warrant. I would have died laughing on that.
So public intox ain't a thing now.
Well, in the Oregon district, they're actually trying to make it in the Oregon district where it's kind of an open thing. That's not yet, but that's what they're trying to go with.
They did that in Middletown in their little entertainment district. They're trying to get off the feet. There's a couple of blocks where they've got
I think
an
it'd be
open
great.
Carry law.
That would
be
not
dope. Open carry. That was
open
container. Yeah,
open container. I think back, not to get all deep on you guys, but I think back to talking about the problem with the police and the brutality and the poor decision making. I think the lion's share of those issues could be fixed if we paid them more. I think we would draw a higher caliber.
Oh no,
no!
I paid them more. If we paid more, I think there are good people out there that aren't police officers. Because
the problem is where they're being recruited from, because we're taking basically, and it's nothing against the military. They do what they do, but I don't want them in charge of my freedoms and policing me.
Right.
I don't think that military service should be a prereq to police officers.
And I think it
should not. It should be, because basically these people are coming straight back from a country where the citizens don't have the rights we have.
They've got PTSD.
And they come straight back to here, and they join the police force, and they give them a gun, and they go out there not realizing that, hey, we have rights.
Right.
And they don't seem to give a damn.
Yeah.
And the problem is, not only are we getting our military to join the police force, we're taking the police force that was there, and we are further militarizing it.
Yeah, you're right.
They have military-grade weapons. Then
you know what solves the problems? What? You know what solves the problems? Take weapons away from cops. Take weapons away from cops.
Give them a truncheon. Give them the little British truncheon.
No, even take
like
that.
Take
turn them all into bobbies. Give them the tall, goofy-looking hat.
Make every cop be able to do hand-to-hand combat.
Let's see how much you really want to be a cop.
Every cop had to fight with their fist and watch crap just
Oh, yeah.
stop. Watch it just stop. Like, cops will be a lot more understanding.
I thought you were hearing him say, now let's work this out.
Let's be reasonable. Let's be reasonable.
I had gotten into that conversation with a police officer that I knew, where he talked about if he sees something that he suspects might be a gun, he's going to draw his gun and fire.
Right.
And he believes he has that right.
Right.
Even if he's mistaken.
Right.
And I told him, no, you don't.
Right.
You became a cop. You took the risk to take that extra second to make sure.
Right.
See, as a citizen, if I think I'm being threatened, I have the right to react. Right. As a cop, because I'm not being paid to take that additional risk. As a police officer, that's your job, is to find out what's going on beforehand.
Yep.
To go in there guns blazing, like if we're going with the Beaver Creek Walmart, if you watch the video for that, there was no time. There was no time given to that young man to comply with anything. If I'm walking around in a store carrying a product that is sold at that store,
correct,
I'm not expecting somebody to come around the corner and say, drop it or I'll shoot, and then shoot me.
Correct.
You might not even think they're talking to you.
Exactly. Correct. Why would you think that? You're carrying around a product that is sold in that store.
Correct.
I still think if we and I can make the same argument for teachers. I just think if we if we could figure out a way to pay them a little bit more, we would get better applicants.
Yeah.
You would get more of those people who will decipher and say, no, I'm not going to pull a trigger. I'm going to give this another minute. But I can tell you right now, and I'm just speaking from what I know. I mean, I know the Dayton PD is not a very highly paid force.
But if I'm
here's the thing. That guy is thinking probably,
most
I'm not going to take a chance with my life.
Right.
I'm not going to take a chance with my life for $37,500 a year. I'm not going to do it. If I see
then
it,
they need to be in another profession.
I agree.
Because that's the job they're taking.
Every day you risk your life for less than that.
I
Every
agree.
time you run a
I
stoplight.
work
I'm
with
not
electric.
excusing
I'm not
it
going
at
to go
all.
in there and not do my job because I could get electrocuted.
Exactly, exactly, and I agree with that. I'm just saying I think we're going to get a much better class of candidates that are applying for the positions if we could figure out a way to value them a little more. And unfortunately, in a capitalistic economy, money talks. It's about the money. I think they're by and large extremely underpaid. I think teachers are underpaid.
But that's assuming these people go to work for that paycheck.
And I think
because some people don't.
I think we speak. Well, you're talking about the ego
police
thing, right?
Police officers used to evaluate a situation when they went in, and now they do snap judgment. They don't evaluate what's going on.
They're treating it like they're in Iraq,
right?
You hit the
and they're treating it as if their life has more value. And part of the reason of that is ever since 9/11, September 11th, 2001, we have put all of our first responders on such a high pedestal that they are all valued above us, and that's another dangerous thing.
Even
not
Iraq,
saying
though,
that these first responders don't deserve respect. They absolutely do. They risk their lives, but at the same time, they've chosen that.
When that translates into an entitlement feeling, is
that's
when
a
it becomes a problem.
But it ain't even the military thing. It's the ego thing, because even in the military, it's a thing called escalation of force. Like when you kick down a door in Baghdad, you don't go in guns blazing. Like you know beforehand what's exactly in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like these guys been trained to run in and shoot. No, you've been trained to run in, think, assess.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're a vet, right?
Yeah.
Were you over?
Yeah. Yeah. I was a finance guy. I wasn't kicking indoors, but I had training before I went.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
And you don't aim your weapon at something you don't intend to kill.
What a great time to get interested in finance.
Hey, everybody does their part. All right, I did my part.
Exactly.
Somebody's got to pay the guy dropping the bomb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right, we're out of time, and that's man, we just covered so much ground.
Yep.
But I appreciate everybody. Anybody last shout outs to what's going on? I know Hannah's. You can promote some stuff.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure, and it was fun, like Ed said it was going to be. I would just want any of your listeners to keep in mind that I am a graduate from Wright State University. I give college discounts. All you got to do is flash your college ID, and you get happy hour pricing around the clock. And we do have the 9 events a week. We have, just to list it again, we have the
Comedy Rundown.
We got
but it's for Hannah. Hannah's Rundown.
Beginner's sausage
He
classes.
throws you off when he does that.
Beginner's sausage classes on Mondays from 7 to 8. 2 Laugh Minimum Monday, which is a comedy showcase at 8 o'clock on Mondays. We got Tuesday and Chill every Tuesday from 5 to 7.
And a college
We got the
discount.
Vibes session every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. We have Oysters and Jazz Thursdays from 5 to 8 p.m. And then after that, we have the Artist in Residence series. And then, of course, we have the All Ages Family Friendly Blues session on Saturday from 5 to 8. And we have 2 great headliners every Friday and Saturday night. Hope to see you guys there.
All right. Ed, Friday night, 9:30 at Wiley's Comedy Club for the Wiley's Fireworks Comedy Competition. Me and Ed are going up. Ed and I are going to be going up, and we will do well. That's all. That's all we got time for. Thanks for coming on, Ed, Luke. It's been a fun show, and
you guys were great.
I love the new musical Ed.
You're welcome.
So we will see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Life Radio Show on WWSU 106.9 with your host, Don Smith. The Life is also available in podcast form on iTunes, PodBean, Stitcher, Spreaker, Blueberry, and YouTube, as well as on Eventide Entertainment's podcast network. Be sure to like the Life Radio Show on Facebook, and if you have any comments or suggestions, email thelife1069@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Now get out there and enjoy some live comedy this week. You can check out wileyscomedy.com for all your upcoming shows.
Presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.